Hello, everyone, and welcome to our slightly earlier training that we normally have at 9 o'clock, but instead we've got the amazing Eric Johnson. So if anyone hasn't heard of Teamzy, get your pens and your papers ready. We are so very grateful for your time and look forward to hearing everything there is to know about Teamzy and getting getting our businesses raging. So I'll hand over to you, Eric. Thank you.
Sure thing. Okay, so thank you so much, Becky. Appreciate it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys Teamzy. If you don't know what the heck that is, it's a software app. It lives on your computer, in your phone. It's going to make your life so incredibly easy building your business, okay? I'm going to show you that, how to set it up, how to use it. I'll teach you how to crush a power hour. For those of you who don't know me, I wrote a book called Power Hour Boss. So I'm going to help you become a power hour boss. You can get your business done in an hour a day or less. But before I jump in and show you all of that, I also want to teach you a little bit about relationship marketing. Relationship marketing is the system Teamzy is based upon. It's an approach for doing business. I know it's going to resonate with you because every person I've talked to from Arbonne has said, that's us, that's our culture. So I think I found my tribe with you. So we're going to go through that first, then I'll take you through Teamzy. Then we'll hang out. By then, some of you are going to go, to dreamland, which is fine. But I will stay behind and do Q&A for you. If you guys have questions, I'll hang out, answer your questions. Sound good? Okay, great. Let's get in here and share my screen. Here we go. This is what I want to talk to you about first. How to systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. So there's a few pieces to this. I'm going to teach you relationship marketing, which is the best way to build your business. But I'm also going to teach you how to make it a system in your business, because you need to be able to do this consistently and duplicate it with your team members, right? It has to be simple enough. Becky and I were just having a little laugh about her very complicated spreadsheet tracker that she built for herself before Teamzy. And are there any of you on the team who try to duplicate her tracker and put it into action? So it's often very hard to duplicate our complex one-off systems, right? We need something simple. And then, as I mentioned, I want you guys to be able to do this in less than an hour a day so you can have some fun, have your life happen, which is why we're in this business, right? Just a little side note before I get started. I just thought this was really interesting. I read an article minutes before I came on this call. It was about the US, but I bet it's similar where you guys are, which is that in August, they have the statistics for August. In August, 4.3 million Americans quit their jobs. And most of them started side hustles. Isn't that amazing? Now, I can guarantee you September and October numbers are precipitously higher than August's. So people are leaving jobs and starting businesses. That may be the case with some of you on this call with us tonight. This is amazing for our industry. I just want you guys to understand that even though it feels sometimes like the world is coming apart at the seams, this is all going to be good for us. Does this make sense? So just a little ray of hope that you're in a great industry that has stability through unstable times, if you will. Okay, let's dive back into this talk. So a little quick introduction to myself. My background is I'm not actually a network marketing guru, like, you've probably seen some on stage at corporate events and stuff. I've been a business consultant and coach for 21 years, teaching people how to build business based on relationships. I fell into the network marketing world by accident about 7 years ago. I started a side hustle of my own. And I quickly realized that everything that I had been teaching for years, I could definitely apply to this business, and worked amazingly well. Just to kind of give you a little background on what happened, here's a shot of my family. The reason I started a side hustle network marketing is because I loved being a business consultant, but I was working for someone else doing it. I was working for a large consulting company here in the US. I was constantly working. I was always at work. I never saw these beautiful people right here in this picture. I don't know how many of you can relate to this, but I was constantly gone. I used to laugh that I only recognized my children in their pajamas, because they were in pajamas when I left and pajamas when I came home. And I wanted more than that. For me personally, I wanted to be with my family. I wanted to have the financial freedom to be able to say, well, I'm not going to work today. We're going to go do something fun. Does this make sense? So network marketing, it was a perfect option because it's a business you can start with zero investment. You can build on the side, and the sky's the limit, right? The challenge I had was I was already so busy. How was I going to fit this in? Did any of you guys struggle with fitting it in? Like, when do you build your business? So I started thinking, okay, how can I possibly do this? And I remember talking to my friend who sponsored me to the business. He said, well, Eric, how much time can you squeeze out of your day to work to dedicate to the business? I said, I can give it an hour a day. I can give it an hour a day. You know how hard it is to give it an hour a day? I mean, I had to really figure out what systems to put in place to help me leverage my time to be really effective during that time, because it's easy to waste an hour, isn't it? You start organizing your spreadsheet. Sorry, Becky, I won't make fun of you the whole time. Or, looking through your phone, who should I message today? And the hour's gone. So I started looking immediately for software. I said, you know what, there's great tools. I do this as a consultant with other businesses. We find tools to help leverage time. Guess what I found? There wasn't anything good. There wasn't anything good. I mean, really nothing. There were a couple software that I found that were based on the wrong philosophy, in my opinion. They weren't based on relationship marketing, which I'm going to teach you about. They were based on the whole kind of go for no concept. Have you guys heard of that? The go for no thing? Some of you are nodding. Yeah, you're going to hear about it a lot from me tonight. Don't worry. So long story short, there was nothing out there to help me. I needed it. I knew if I needed it, other people needed it. I put together a team of people much smarter than me, and I gave them my chicken scratch notes from a notebook on what it should do. And boom, we had Teamzy. And just over 6 years ago now, Becky and I just figured out, I was thinking it was 5. In about 6 years, we've served more than 150,000 network marketers, which is amazing and humbling. And it's all been done person to person. We are not a big tech company. We don't spend $1 billion on advertising. It's done from teams, leaders like Becky saying, I found something, you guys, it's amazing. Let's learn about it together. And team by team by team, we've spread to over 150,000 people, which is pretty cool. And just to kind of give you an idea of average results, how many of you consider yourself average? Anyone? All right, let me see the above average people. Let me see the above average people. Okay, there's a few of you above average. That's good. Uh-oh, what happened? See what happened? Not enough of you raised your hands. My slide revolted. Here we go. Average users using Teamzy, they're averaging 21 customers and 9 recruits added in 90 days. 21 customers, 9 recruits over 90 days. How many of you would like that to see that times 4 for your year? Great, cool. So being average isn't such a bad thing, is it? But that doesn't mean you can't do better. So here's the thing. I'm going to show you tonight exactly what I mean by active users, what type of activity they're doing on a daily basis. Still less than an hour, but that you can do that consistently, you can get great results like this. Okay, let's dive into the topic, which is relationship marketing. What is relationship marketing? Sorry if my voice is a little hoarse. I've had like 4 colds in 3 weeks. My kids are making sure I'm exposed and healthy to everything going around right now. So what is relationship marketing? First off, it's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. It's a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. This is what I was talking about when I said the whole go for no thing. You know, I joined this business and I was immediately told, we're going to go for no. We're going to do a challenge. We're going to go for no. And it was like, we're going to make a list. We're going to message all of them. They're going to all reject you, Eric. Don't worry. Most of them will reject you, but 1 or 2 will say yes, and you'll be on your way. Have you guys been told this or read this in books or seen it from stage? It's the primary approach of our industry. The problem with that approach is it's selfish. I'm going to message everybody I know until I find somebody interested. And because I need you to help me build my business, right? And the reason why most people reject it is because they feel like they have a target on their backs. They feel like what was a friendship is now you trying to get a sale off of them. Make sense? So we're going to flip that on its head. We put the relationships and the people ahead. We make them know they're more important than the sale. Are you guys with me? Next is, this isn't some abstract feel-good concept. And I've talked to big leaders who are like, Eric, if I have my team doing all this lovey-dovey stuff, we're not going to get any results, right? This is a proven system. It's a proven system we follow, always knowing what to do next. It's a system I've taught 21 years to every business type you can imagine. And for 6 straight years now, with over 150,000 network marketers, The system's proven. And so I'm not here to convince you that it works. I'm here to teach you how to do it. Okay, makes sense? All right, next piece. Relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. Okay, it's a fancy word that means a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. Why am I bringing this up? You guys need to understand that you're not just salespeople for Arbonne, you're business owners. And the primary role of a business owner is lead generation, right? If you owned a restaurant, do I have any restaurateurs in the group? If you owned a restaurant, your job is to bring customers. The staff serves the customers, but you bring the customers, right? So you own the business. Your job is to bring leads. This is your business. I want you guys to understand that your business isn't Arbonne, though we love them, right? They're great, but you're in the lead generation business. And so when you work on your business, you have to ask yourself, am I doing activities that lead to generating leads? Now, what do I mean by generating leads? I mean meeting people or getting people interested, okay? Am I doing those, or was I just busy rearranging my desk today? Make sense? Because you need to understand this principle. That's that developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So you're generating leads so that you can build relationships with them. You're meeting people, building relationships with them, deepening relationships. It's really that simple. That's how it boils down. How many of you guys have a background in marketing, maybe from your job or other experience, like traditional marketing? Traditional marketing is totally different than our business. Our business is relationship to relationship. It's community, it's family, right? And so we build it by building relationships with people. The relationship is the most important thing. More important than a sale or a recruit is having a good relationship with somebody, because we turn our relationships, hold on a second. My slides are going too fast for me. Here we go. We turn our relationships into advocates. We turn our relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. This is an important concept. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I really want you guys to get it, is that somebody you know may never buy from you and they may never join your team, but they quite possibly may bring dozens of people to your business because they're excited for you, because they love you, because they want to support you, and they are your advocate. When you start working in Teamzy, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute, when you start working these relationship marketing principles that I'm teaching you right now, your goal is to build advocates. Every time you connect with somebody, it's not just to uncover interest in Arbonne, it's to build an advocate. It's like, yeah, I'd love you to buy, I'd love you to join my team, but one thing I am confident of, you're going to love what I'm doing so much, you're going to want to tell people about it. Does this make sense? And it's like having that confidence going in. Excuse me a second while I just clear my throat for a quick sec. In fact, I came into this call tonight knowing that I'm going to make advocates of you, that you guys are going to leave this call fired up about Teamzy. You're going to talk to team members who weren't on it, tell them, watch the recording. It was awesome. Teamzy'sthebomb.com. Why am I so confident that you're going to feel that way at the end of this call? Because I'm going to invest my time into you right now, and you're going to love what I have to say. Does this make sense? I want you guys to have the same confidence as you. Was I muted that whole time? No. Okay. I just looked up and it said you were muted. And I said, oh no. Who knows what I said? Hopefully it was good. All right. Next principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. Every time I say that, just so you guys know, some of you will chuckle at this. Every time I say, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work, I cringe, because when I was a child, if I said the word ain't, I had to put a dime in a jar for my mom because it was not a real word, right? How many of you guys have a mom like that, stickler about English? Okay. Relationship marketing depends on trust. I feel like this is such an important concept because a lot of what our industry wants us to do, to me, feels disingenuous. And some of you might relate to this. So, 20 years ago, this business was done. It was like, you invite somebody to coffee. Oh, it's great to catch up. You'd pull out the binder, boom, show them your business plan. And oh gosh, another network marketing person, right? It was like the bait and switch thing. We stopped doing that. Now we have social media. So now a lot of times we're told like, okay, well, whatever you do, don't put Arbonne anywhere on your social media. We want to create some mystery, right? We want to create some mystery. And then you're like, hey, you know, I'm doing this amazing thing. Message me if you want the details, or to learn more, send me a message. And then it's like, it's the same thing, you guys. It's the digital version of that 3-ring binder coming out. And it's like all these little techniques to like trick people into being interested. Here's what I want you to know. Do those tactics work? Yeah, they work. I mean, they work. Obviously, you've got people, you've probably seen people on stage who are mega successful telling you this is what I did. Are they genuine? I don't think so. Now, here's what I will tell you. You can get the same or better results by just being genuine, authentic you. Okay. And this whole system that I'm going to teach you, relationship marketing, it depends on trust, which means anything that you do that's even slightly disingenuous, man, the whole thing falls apart like a house of cards. Trust is a fragile thing, right? We have to build it. We have to earn it. But here's the good news. Trust makes the work fun. If people trust you even a little bit, you don't have to sell them. You don't have to convince them. You get right to helping them. That's why we're here, right? Also, trust removes the ickiness from the sales process. Now, I think ickiness is like, you know, a business term. How many of you guys recognize that term? The icky salesperson. None of us want to feel this way. When there's trust, you don't feel icky, and your friends and family don't feel icky when you talk to them about your business. And the best part is, forget this go for no thing. You get to go for yes. See, with relationship marketing, when somebody says no, we don't throw them over our shoulder like a dead body and move on to the next person. Of course, they said it's the beginning of a conversation. It's the beginning of a relationship. Maybe they're not interested in the beginning. That's okay. We continue investing in that person because eventually we're going to get them to be yes, our customer, yes, our teammate, or yes, our advocate. Does this make sense? So it's kind of like, I always say it like this. Imagine if you were a single person and you walked into a bar or a pub and you walked up to somebody and said, you need to marry me. Now, unless you were just like incredibly good looking and poised, most people are going to be like, you're a weirdo, get out of here, right? Why would people respond that way? Because our relationship isn't there. Does this make sense? And this is why when you go for no, you get so many no's. Your relationship's not there. We have to build that relationship. We have to build that conversation, and we're going to get there down the road. Make sense? Okay, next, how to build trust. How to build trust. Trust is the most important piece. I'm going to give you some things to take away tonight that you can use in your business right away. There's 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Bless you. Sorry, you're on my screen. I saw it. It's all good. There's 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Here we go. Number 1 is chemistry. Chemistry. Number 2 is character. Character. Number 3 is competence. Okay, competence. And number 4 is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. Okay, you got those? All right. Let's talk about chemistry first. Chemistry is creating a connection with someone. Chemistry is creating a connection with someone. Where do you have common ground with them? And what is it about you they can relate to? Okay, where do you have common ground with them? And what is it about you they can relate to? This is super important because there's an underlying principle that I want to make sure you guys get, and that's this. People prefer to do business with a friend. People prefer to do business with a friend, right? Would you rather, well, I don't even have to convince you. You guys know that's true intuitively. We'll save time by me not trying to convince you on that. People would rather do business with a friend. So the first thing you want to do is build some rapport, build some chemistry, find out what you have in common so that you can connect with somebody. Okay. The opposite is nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like. And there's a lot of choices, right? If I'm interested in Arbonne, there's a lot of choices for people who can help me. So you need to understand they're choosing you because they like you, right? Okay. Number 2, I went too far again. Number 2 is character. Character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Okay. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and you're relatable. This is so important Because we think of character as something we have, like, oh man, I'm a good person, I have good character. How many of you guys would say you're a person of good character? Hopefully you all raise your hands, but the bottom line is it doesn't matter how good your character is. It matters how you're demonstrating it to others. And we demonstrate character by caring for others. Okay. It's not the sum of what we've done, it's what we're doing. So character is not something you have, it's something you do. And so you have to decide on a daily basis to implement your character into the world, right? And this is everything. It's how we communicate. It's how we follow up with customers and stay in touch with them. It's how we communicate and post on social media. Are you posting selfishly or are you posting selflessly on social media? How are you taking care of people in the world? How do you treat the people who serve you in life? How are you, how do you drive your car on the roads? Are you courteous of others? All of these things are your brand through your character. Does this make sense? And it's funny when you start to think about that, how am I showing up for others? How am I showing up? All of us have selfish bones in our body. Let's not be, none of us are perfect. But when you really think about it, how can I show up for others today? This is my brand, right? I don't feel like it, but I still need to show up for them. Now, what's amazing is how many of you have a job, you work for somebody else. Okay. Isn't it amazing how we'll break our backs for their customers? Right? Like we want to show up and do the best job we can, but then in our own business, sometimes we're like, I don't feel like it. Well, but we don't get to do that when we work for somebody else, do we? So I want you guys to start making your business number one and your job number two, right? It's not that you're going to do a lesser job at work, just that you're going to raise your level in your business. Character is huge. And think about it. Every one of you can think of a company or a person you no longer want to do business with based on a character issue, can't you? They made you feel small. They made you feel like you're a number. They made you feel like you're worthless. They made you feel like they don't want your money, right? And you're like, then you can't have it. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm that way with almost every company I do business with, but I can't fire them all because I still need to do some business, right? Okay. Number 3, competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. There's 2 pieces to this. The first piece is, yeah, I have some issues that you can help me with. Let's say I need to lose some weight or I'm, I'm just having some issues. I noticed, Becky, on your Facebook today that you specialize in gut health, right? So like, great. Are you actually competent in that area to help me? Like the first thing I want to know if I'm going to become your customers, can you help me? So how do I know you're competent? Because it says so on your Facebook page. I need to see your competence. Are you demonstrating that now, I'm not picking on you, Becky, you're just my example, but I need to see on a regular basis how you're competent in this area. It helps me to recognize you as an advisor in this area, right? How many of you are pretty new to Arbonne? Let me see. Now I can't see everybody. I can only see like 6 people. So hopefully, if you're kind of new, here's the thing I want you to know. You may not be as competent as the leaders on this team when it comes to the products and not just understanding the products. I mean, step 1 is you need to know your products in and out. So I know corporate gives you all that information. You need to digest it and know it, right? But it's more important to demonstrate competence is stories of how you've been changed, your life's been changed, or how the lives of your clients, your customers, your team has been changed. You need to know these stories. So if you're new, you may not have a lot yet. So you need to lean into your team and learn the stories of the team, find out how their customers have been impacted and tell those stories. This makes sense. You need to demonstrate that you understand how to help people. So you can confidently say, yeah, I can help you. Eric, I could totally help you with this. And, if you're new and you don't really say, here's the good news. My upline, Becky, is like the ultimate expert on this. So she's going to help me craft a program for you. Any spot where my knowledge has gaps, I'm going to go to her and we're going to fill in a program for you. So you lean into that competence, the upline. Does this make sense? But you need to show your competence. This is especially true if it's like you're like the cousin that they've seen their pants on backwards at some family party or something, right? Right. Okay. I got a couple of chuckles there. So like now they suddenly believe you're a business guru. Like it's going to take a while sometimes to prove that competence and to build that trust, but it's such an important piece. So the second piece to this is the business person piece, which is, great. You can help me with your products and I trust you to do that. But do I believe you can mentor me to be successful in the business? How are you showing me that you're a competent business person, that you know how to help me succeed? So this is another important piece, right? This is another important piece because I know some of you are like, well, yeah, if I had a huge, 6-figure income, it'd be easy for me to recruit. How many of you guys think that? Well, it's true. It would be easier for you to recruit. Why? Because the confidence would be there from your competence. But you don't have to be at that level to recruit. But you do need to show people your milestones, show the things that you're happening, right? Be excited about that first check that you get from corporate or that little special gift that they gave you for hitting a goal this month, right? Some of you guys know my backstory. I was a Beachbody coach for a while before Teamzy took off and I had to just go focus on Teamzy. And one month I won, they had this thing where they're like, hey, if you help 3 people, you get this free gift. You guys, Arbonne does this, right? Okay, so here was the gift. It was a Monopoly game, the Monopoly board game. It was a Beachbody themed Monopoly game. And I did a little live video, like, look at this cool, fun thing I got because I helped some people this month. Like the fact that I got this cheesy game, I was able to get like 6 new customers because they saw like, oh, he's actually getting results. Was it fancy trip to Paris or something? No, it wasn't. It was a cheesy. Does this make sense? So you're demonstrating your competence along the way, the little things that you're doing, the little things that you're getting. And then as those build, that it becomes a bigger deal. When you win the free vacation to Punta Cana or whatever, then it's like people are like, wow, you got a free vacation to the Caribbean. How do I learn more? Right. So the competence levels grow, but it's really important that you share those along the way so that people build that trust in you. Are you guys with me? Okay. Next is, before I jump to number 4, there's a principle behind these that I just want to teach you really quickly. This is one of my favorite things to teach in all of my years as a coach and business consultant. I always teach this principle because I feel like it's so fundamental to relationship marketing. So I snuck it into this presentation for you guys. And that's this. If somebody's considering doing business with you, they really only care about 3 things, these 3 questions. And there I went passive again. Hold on, let's see here. Gentle touches, Eric. Here we go. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Now, you can see where I got chemistry, character, and competence out of this principle, but think about this for a second. First off, if somebody believes these are all yeses, they're absolutely 100% your advocate. Okay, they're your advocate. Oh, you're struggling with that? You need to talk to my friend Becky. This is what she does. Like, why would they do that so quickly? I'm going to introduce you to Becky. Why? Because they know they can trust her, that she cares about them, and she's great at what she does. It's a no-brainer. Now, if they're not sure, I'm not sure. I don't know you well enough yet if I can trust you. I don't know if you care about me. You act like it, right? They're not sure. When they're not sure, they'll raise objections. Do you guys ever receive objections? Objections are a good thing, you guys. Objections are a good thing. But they tell you that the relationship's not solid yet. It tells you that they're not sure yet about these questions. Does this make sense? So they raise objections. The objections give them time to think. The objections they kind of give you a chance to clarify your heart to them. This is why I love objections. Objections are basically a way of someone saying, I'm ready, but I just need to know a little bit more about you and where your heart is before I make the final decision. And you guys thought it was about an ingredient in the shake? No, it's not. It's about trust. Does this make sense? Okay. Now, here's the other thing. If somebody knows that one of these is a no, any one of these is a no, they'll never do business with you, ever. And not only will they not do business with you, but they'll go out of their way to make sure other people avoid doing business with you too, right? This is the way people are wired. And this has happened. You guys have all done this on both sides. You've been an advocate for a business and you have been wronged by a business. That's how this feels when you get a no. You've been wronged by a business and you've told your friends and family all about it. Don't do business with them, haven't you? So it's important that we understand these concepts as we're building relationships, because our goal is for people to know these things, that yes, you can trust me because I've earned it, right? And not only do you care about me, but I love you. And yeah, I'm great at what I do. Let's go. Let me help you. Okay, here we go. Next, consistency. Number 4 is consistency. This is why Becky invited me here tonight, because she has a dream that you'd all be consistent. And she thinks Eric Johnson might just be the guy to help. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, consistency is the most important piece. This is where all success comes through consistency, right? And this is the part where we actually have to do some work. But what I love about consistency is that this is the only sure way to really build trust, is to be consistent. Now, I do these higher level trainings, training boot camps that I offer through Teamzy. And one of the things and I'm just going to give you a little piece of this because this is something that I do a whole training on in my leadership development program. But do you guys know what the opposite of consistent is? Have you guys ever thought of, it's not inconsistent. The opposite of consistent is unpredictable. It's unpredictable. This is why when you're not consistent, it's hard for people to trust you. Do you trust unpredictable people? Do you rely on them? But when you're seen as consistent, people will trust you. They feel like they can rely. Does this make sense? So here's a principle behind this. People respect consistency and they desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and they desire it for themselves. When you're consistent, it builds trust, yes. It also attracts people to you. They want to be around it. We all want more of it in our lives, and it's a struggle. The struggle is real, as the t-shirt says. We want to be around it. This is why you guys are here on this call all together in community. Why you guys love this team so much. Why you're attracted to Arbonne. Why? Because you saw people being consistent. You wanted to have some of that in your life. And now here you are, being consistent. How many of you are consistent products of the product? You use your Arbonne products as part of your life. Has it been helpful? Has it been life-changing for some of you? Yeah. How many of you are consistently now on social media, sharing your journey, sharing what you're going through, sharing everything, letting people know? Yeah. And those are important things, right? We have to be a consistent product of our product, or forget it. You shouldn't be here if that's not the case. And we have to we have to share our story, or else we're a team of one, right? Which is no fun in this business. But even more important, as we talk about being consistent, where you need to be consistent is with your relationships. See, when I started my business, I was pretty well connected on social media. I had been in this consulting industry for so many years that I had made real relationships with thousands of people. I traveled all over the country, doing seminars and trainings and meeting people and getting into their business. I had all these great relationships. I started posting things on Facebook. This is 2015. I started posting things on Facebook, and people would sign up for my posts. It was like, this is easy. And then like a month or two in, it's like those same posts are getting less attraction, right? What's the difference? Well, the thing is, you guys, is that you can't just rely on like social media to be your consistent thing. It's about relationships, and relationships are one-on-one. Social media helps us to meet people and connect and deepen relationships, but kind of, sort of. It's kind of a simulation, right? It's like, I say, it's like your neighbor who doesn't close the drapes and leaves them open at dinner time. And when you're walking down the sidewalk, all the neighbors can see the whole family eating supper together, like a TV show, right? Social media is like looking through your neighbor's windows. They're out there going, check it out. See what we're having, roast beef for dinner, right? Like, so it's like people are watching you, it's like watching a reality show. You're the star, but they're not really engaged with you because you're not connecting personally with them. Does this make sense? So it's important that we're in touch with our relationships more consistently even than using our products, being on social media. And I want you guys to understand that's because relationship building is a contact sport. You have to be in regular contact with people if you want to build relationships with them, which is why we built Teamzy. So don't be intimidated. It's going to be super easy to do this. We've made it very easy for you to stay in regular contact with relationships and deepen those relationships. But I want you guys to understand this principle, big principle, before we jump into Teamzy and I show you the whole software. And that's this: investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Now, just really quick, I just want to, let me see your faces for a second. If you can, turn on your cameras. Oh, look at all those beautiful smiles. Okay. So just really quick, just to ask this question. How many of you have received, let me go to page 2. Okay, yeah, okay, great. I can see who's making a sandwich in the other room. Their cameras are off, it's all good. You know, actually, I shouldn't even tell the story, but I think it's so funny. We were on a group shot like this. I don't know if you guys are seeing the same view as me, but I have you guys on gallery now, so I can see everybody's face. So when you're watching the recording, those of you in playback will be seeing this. We were in gallery talking one time, and somebody was on the call, and in the background, she was in her master bedroom, and in the background, her husband, who had no idea she was on a Zoom, was taking a shower. And he came out of the bathroom, walked across the background of the Zoom, just proud as all you know what, and what God gave him, walked by, kind of looked at the camera and kept walking. And then we just went sideways laughing like, oh my gosh. So anyways, that's why I always say you can leave your camera off. If there's nudity happening, that's okay. Though it makes for a good story when that kind of thing happens. So here's what I wanted to ask you. Some of you are thinking, oh my gosh, I need to holler at my husband right now. Don't come out. So I want you guys to think about a time where you received like a card or a letter from someone that you love that had a handwritten message in it. You know what I'm talking about? Like the kind that when you read it, it's like, oh man, that gets me right in the heart. How many of you have kids? See the moms, and yeah. So you guys know exactly, oh my gosh, right? Or from a spouse or significant other or parent. Okay, so now you guys thought of one of these cards or letters. How many of you still have them? You've kept them? Let me see hands for you. You kept it. Who's got a stash, like a drawer, a chest full of, okay, just about everybody. Okay, good. That's pretty universal whenever I tell the story. So it's amazing the impact that has, right? We keep it forever. Oh my gosh. I mean, like how precious is it? Even after we pass on, often the letters and cards that we received are what's most treasured by our families. So how many of you have a letter or a card that belonged to someone that you love that's passed on? See, look at the hands. It's amazing. Now, here's another example. Have you ever received one of these? These are like little happy birthday postcards. You guys ever get these from a few of you? These ones in particular come from my life insurance salesperson. He sends me a little card every year for my birthday, right? I also get one from my dentist. Usually it says X-rays are due, happy birthday, right? Or something like that. My dog gets one for the vet, says need new measles shot. Send the vet in, happy birthday to your dog. She's a year older, needs her shot. So you guys get these? Okay, so I'm having a little fun with this, but does anyone save these? Do you have these in your special stash of wonderful cards? No, everyone's shaking their head. These probably don't even make it into the house, right? Does anyone do it? See, what I do, and I live in California. I know we're a bit odd, you know, but you know, we don't actually use the door in our home. We pretty much drive the car right into the garage, shut it behind us, and come in through the garage. And so when I bring in the mail, there's a recycling bin next to my car. And the majority of the mail doesn't even make it into the house, right? It's like 9/10 of it goes right in the trash. And these I would normally recycle too, wouldn't you? So what's the difference? I mean, it's a happy birthday, the gesture's there. Why do we not put any value on this? So let's go back to that principle really quickly that I just taught you. First, this required no investment of time. Since he invested no time, we know this is an automated service, right? Since he invested no time, it has no intrinsic value. The second piece is it's not personal. This is bulk, generic. It's not personal, right? Excuse me. It's not personal. So we put that it doesn't have any value to us. In the marketing biz, you know, before I asked you guys who's in marketing, this is called top of mind marketing. The idea is that if you stay top of mind, someone may think of you when they need your service, right? It's the most shallow type of marketing. But I want you guys to understand the difference, the incredible impact that it makes when there's a perception of invested time and a personal connection. It's massive. Every one of you told me that you've saved these notes, these cards, right? Now, I'm not just talking about writing handwritten cards or notes. Man, that was a good cough. It got tears in my eyes. I'm so emotional about this topic, you guys. But seriously, I'm not just talking about writing cards and letters, though. Whenever you can think of a reason to write a note to somebody, handwritten note, you should do it because it does have a huge impact. But even just messaging somebody, sending them a quick message, that's just to them, that's personal. Maybe it invested a few seconds, but it makes a deep impact. Does this make sense? And so when I'm going to show you Teamzy in a second, how many of you are already using Teamzy? Let me see your hands. Okay, but maybe about half of the people I can see with the cameras off, which is great. Some of you are going to be like, oh, now I'm going to use this better. Some of you are going to be blown away when I show you this. Teamzy is designed to help you do this all day long. To invest time, connect personally, so that you're making a deep impact in people's day. We start by making people's day. And then we build a conversation on that, right? It's like my analogy before, people are asking them to marry them when they don't know them. We're going to start by making people's day, having great conversation. It's like courting, right? First, it makes more sense. By the way, it's so fun. This is going to be so fun for you guys. But I wanted you to get this concept. Investing time connecting personally is the only way to deepen relationships, and our business is about deepening relationships. Okay. Now, if you hear terms like automated marketing, fire and forget systems, right? Then you know this is what it's going to feel like to your prospects when they get it. So don't be tempted. I have people message me all the time and go, Eric, is there a way that we can hook a bulk texting service into Teamzy using your scripts so that I could send a make someone stay message to everybody on my list all at once and be done? I'm like, you are missing the point, right? It's about connecting personally. Now, we want you to be efficient, less than an hour a day, but I want you guys to really, it's like one of my mentors and business partner, Mike Lopez, says, energy follows focus, right? Energy follows focus. If your focus is on, if my focus is on Laura, my energy is going to follow that. Even if it's for 3 seconds, boom, Laura's top of Teamzy. I'm going to message Laura. Even if I have no idea what to say and I use Eric Johnson's script, boom, my focus is on her. The energy follows her. She gets the message. It hits its target. She smiles. Day is made. Are you guys with me? So don't try to, we've made Teamzy so efficient. It doesn't need to be more efficient, because you lose the heart if you go more. Make sense? Okay, so let me stop talking about this and we'll go look at Teamzy. I think that I have maybe one slide left here. Great, here we go. This is all great. You guys are still with me. You're not asleep, which means that this philosophy is resonating with you, but you got to have a system. It's not enough to have philosophy. You need a way to stay in contact with all of your relationships, know when you're going to contact them, know what you're going to say, and make sure nobody falls through the cracks. Okay. And that's exactly what Teamzy is going to do for you. So let's dive out of here and we will go into Teamzy. Okay. So first off, I want you guys to know, if you go to teamzy.com, you can get a free trial of Teamzy. It's a 2-week free trial. So if you're not already using Teamzy, plan to go set up your free trial tonight, teamzy.com. When you get there, it'll say choose your business. Luckily, Arbonne is at the very top. So choose Arbonne. Make sure you get that version because there's a custom version. Okay. And once you start your trial, this is exactly what you'll be seeing. This is the welcome screen, welcome to Teamzy. And I'm just going to take you through this setup process really quickly. Okay, so the first thing I really want you to focus on here is setting your income goal. How much money do you want to be earning a year from now? Now, I know it's in dollars, but it's okay. Just translate it. Just go with the same numbers. It's all good, you guys. This isn't rocket science. Okay, it's going to work fine. So set your income level. My goal is 150,000 a year. So you can see at that goal, Teamzy tells me exactly what I need to be doing daily. I need to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 consultants on my team. Now, if I change this goal, it changes my targets. If I make it bigger, it increases them. How cool is this, you guys? Here's what I want you to understand. You are going to know exactly what you need to do to get to your goal. There's no more mystery. Did I work enough today? You're going to know. Now, what I love about this is this gives you the freedom when you hit your target for the day. You can just, like, as my dad would say, put your tools down. You're done. Stop. Go enjoy your kids. Go enjoy your night. Are you with me? Okay. Let's continue. Here we go. All right. Next step is you want to get all your contacts into Teamzy. And this is where you get to replace the spreadsheet you haven't updated in a while, or the box of sticky notes that you have, the shoebox full of sticky notes that you've been keeping, right? Or there's little slips of paper. How many of you guys have contacts written down in 3 or 4 different notebooks? You have to go dig them out and dig around, right? Or just rifling through your phone, Messenger, WhatsApp, text. Where is this person? You're going to get them all into Teamzy, so they're in one place, organized. Teamzy's cloud-based, which means it's in your phone, it's in your computer, it's anywhere you can get to the internet, it's there. Okay, saved securely in the cloud for you. You can always get access to it. So when you meet somebody, you don't have to write it on a sticky note. You open Teamzy on your phone, you put them right in. Set your follow-up. Have them put it in. That's what I always do, right? Have them put their contact information in. I just open up the thing and go, please put your contact information in. I'll follow up with you Tuesday. Let them enter it for you. It's super easy. The thing that I love too is that Teamzy helps you get all your social media lists in. You can import your Facebook list into Teamzy in one click, which is pretty cool. If you use the Chrome extension that we built, you can do it in one click. And you can sync it up every time you go in if you're on Chrome, which is really neat. You're going to get your back office in, your customers in, all those people into Teamzy in the right groups, and they're organized so you never have to feel disorganized again. The best part too is that Teamzy has kind of a magic algorithm that I'll show you in a second, so that nobody falls through the cracks ever once they're in Teamzy, right? As long as you're working it, Teamzy will cycle them through. You don't have to worry about losing track of them. Okay, so once you've got everything in Teamzy, you're all set up and ready to go. This is what the dashboard looks like. This is on my desktop. It'll be shaped a little differently if you're on your phone, but you get the same idea. This is Teamzy for Arbonne special custom version. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple things here really quick. See where it says today's activities right here? So these are the goals I just set based on my income goal. So it's telling me today I need to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 consultants on my team. By the way, when I say connect, I think you guys have this figured out by now. I don't mean some cheesy sales script, right? I'm not sending them a video from corporate. Well, I mean, in some cases I might, but not to start the conversation. What I'm doing is just reaching out to connect. Okay, I call it make someone's day. So we call it Teamzy the make someone's day mindset. We used to have these t-shirts that say hashtag make someone's day mindset. All I want you to do in a power hour is message people to make their day. That's it. I'll show you how to do it in a second. Because by doing that, they're going to respond at a really high rate. And the goal is to create conversations. That's the goal, is create conversations. So we're messaging people to create conversations. It's super easy and fast in Teamzy. So my goal is 9 prospects, 6 customers, 3 consultants. I've also got a goal to share each day. And a share is when you're sharing your business opportunity or a product solution with somebody. I'm not going to do that on every conversation, right? But I'm going to create opportunities through my conversations to share. And then I've got a goal to add new people to Teamzy. Okay. You got to always be adding new people to Teamzy. Even if you know 5,000 people already on social media or more, always be adding new people to Teamzy. It's like fresh water in a beautiful, think of your business as like a beautiful lake teeming with life. But if the stream that feeds the lake is shut off, the lake goes stagnant, right? So you always want fresh water coming in. And in our business, that's new people. So as we're meeting new people, just constantly be aware of new people you're meeting, get them in your Teamzy. It doesn't mean they're interested in Arbonne. It means that you're interested in a relationship building with them. Make sense? Okay. So those are my activities. Now, here's the cool thing. You notice that I gave Teamzy an annual goal, but it's just telling me what to do today. Isn't that cool? All I have to worry about is today. Now, just real quick, show of hands. Who wants to have a big business? Do any of you want to have a big business? Okay, good. So if you want a business that's big, you have to have a focus that's small. Okay, if you want a business that's big, you have to have a focus that's small. And that's what Teamzy does, is it focuses you in on today, just today, just today. Now we're going to do, and it's not even today, it's like this hour, right? Because it's a power hour. It's what you're going to do in 1 hour of today. So let me scroll down a little bit more to this power hour section. You guys see this area right here where it says power hour? This is something that's really unique to Teamzy. See, Teamzy is the type of software that Teamzy is. It's called a CRM. Have you guys ever heard of CRM? Some of you have. It stands for Customer or Contact Relationship Manager. I know it's like a boring mouthful. And honestly, I'm not like the best representative of computer nerds in the world because I don't really understand it. And I had to use a CRM in my consulting business and I hated using it. I hated using CRM so much. Some of you can relate to this. How many of you use CRM at work? I hated using it so much that I used to write notes on sticky notes and hand them to my assistant and ask him, please, can you put this in the CRM? Because I was required to log everything in the CRM. So I didn't even use it. And here I am in the business of creating CRMs and I wouldn't even use CRM. But here's what I want you to understand. A CRM, the reason why people don't use it, it's like filing in a filing cabinet, right? It keeps information that you might need. It's all filed in the filing cabinet. What Teamzy does through this power hour module, I'm going to show you right now, is it gives you a full-time assistant who goes to the filing cabinet every day, pulls out what you need, and puts it on your desk for you. Right? And then after you're done, that assistant puts it all back where it needs to be and prepares tomorrow for you. That's what Teamzy does. It's something that's really cool. And if for you to recreate this system in a business, you would typically have to hire a full-time person, right? So Teamzy is going to do this for you. So let me just show you really quick. I've got all my contacts in Teamzy and I've quickly gone through and given them a ranking. We rank our contacts on a 5-star scale. So 5 stars to 1 star, you know, like you guys do everything. And the 5 stars give Teamzy a priority. So the 5-star people are going to come up first. They're going to be your most important, right? And so on. And then each star rating gives them a different frequency. So 5-star people come up on my list every 30 days. 4-star people come up every 60 days. 3-star people come up every 90 days. 2-star people come up every 120 days. Does this make sense? So, because if I barely know you, I'm not going to message you every month. It's going to be weird, right? But I still want to stay in touch. So over time, I used to, you know, it's so funny is I was working on this today, working on pieces of this book. I haven't read it since I wrote it. And one of the things I said is that your contacts don't earn their ranking. You earn the ranking. As you build a relationship with somebody, you move them from 2 stars to 5 stars based on your activity. Make sense? Okay, so real quick on this. Once you've got them ranked, Teamzy will automatically create your list. You don't have to think about it. You never have to plan. You never have to go, who do I contact today? Teamzy will have it there for you always. So let's take a look at my power hour. So I've got 4 lists. I've got prospects, customers, my consultants, and my follow-ups, okay? Now, these lists pull automatically in cycle based on star rankings. So you can see Becky's #1 on my list today. She's the first prospect that I'm going to message. Now on the right-hand side is where I log the message I send so that it's tracked for next time. Pretty simple, right? So I'm going to message Becky. Let's say I'm going to do my power hour now. I've logged in Teamzy. There it is. First person on my list. I don't have to think. I'm going to message her, but this is where I start overthinking. Let me see the overthinkers. Where are you guys? It's good to be honest. What am I going to say? How am I going to initiate this conversation? I don't want no, you know, I haven't talked to her since school. Like it's like, how do I do this? And I used to get stuck on this too. And it took me a long time to figure this out. The simpler the message, the better the result. And so you'll find in Teamzy, I put all my scripts in here for you to use. We want to use a simple, what I call just a simple connect. So I'm going to go to scripts. Now over here on the right-hand side, you'll see right here where it says script. See that button? I'm going to click it. And then I'm going to send her a script. So, you know, you can get different types of scripts. I usually use Messenger. So I'm going to click on Facebook. So I'm just going to use the first one on the list. It's called Connect One, really imaginative title. But here's how it reads. Hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. So simple. Click on copy script. Okay, now I could go straight to Messenger and send it, but I like to paste it in Teamzy to do my editing. So a couple things here. First of all, her name's not Jane. Jane is my customer avatar. Do you guys have a customer avatar? Yours is probably Jane. If I showed you Jane, you'd be like, that's my customer avatar because you guys are my customer avatar. So Jane, it's just something we do in business is you think about what your customer's like. You describe her or him, and then you build your services to help that person. So in my case, it's Jane. So you guys, when you see Jane in a lot of the scripts, just know that's why it's there. You can change the name. Okay, real quick tip on this. Always put their first name in the message when you're starting a new chat. Okay, no hun, no girl, no friend. Needs to be their first name. Why? Because you don't want them to suspect this is a bulk message. Okay, got it? So first name. You don't do it every time in the back and forth, just when you're starting a new chat. Okay, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome. It's so funny that I'm talking to you guys because I do occasionally have people in the UK say, we don't say awesome like you. You're just too enthusiastic. So like, look, here's what I want you guys to know. You can change some words. Like you can just say, hope your day is great. Okay. Don't get caught up in the small stuff. I'm just putting some emojis in here to personalize it. So, you know, get a couple of emojis, personalize it, get it however you want it. And then once this message is the way you want it, we're going to just copy it real quick so that I can send it on Facebook. Now Facebook Messenger, Messenger, Instagram, you have to go to you can't send it through any other app. You have to go straight in. So here we go. We're just going to look her up. There she is. So we're going to put her in. See, she hasn't accepted my friend request, but I'm still going to message her. Okay, so there you go. Look, now I just pasted it in there. Do you guys see how easy that was? And then just send it. Okay, simple. Don't overthink. Don't get here and go, oh, let me read her whole page first before I send it. Just send it. Okay, just send it. Don't waste time going through the whole page before the first message. If she responds to me, hey, great to hear from you, and now we're in a conversation, that would be the appropriate time for me to go through her Facebook or her Instagram, see what's happening and engage, right? There's no point to do it before. So look, I'm going to log this in Teamzy, what kind of activity it was. It was a Facebook message. Click the big blue log connect button. Now watch what happens when I do this. Boom. Now I've got one done. See this little circle filling in? And she's gone off the list. Where did she go? She went into what I call the Teamzy flow. So she's gone into the Teamzy flow. See, it's a real message. There, she got it. She's showing it to you guys. She's going to come back on. If she does not respond at all, she's back on my list in 30 days. Teamzy is going to bring her back in 30 days. I'm not even going to worry about if she responds. Why? Because I got to message Jay. She's next on my list. So there's Jay. She's next on my list. Just paste in your message. Use the same one. Why overthink? Change the name to Jay. I'm going to keep those emojis just where they are. See how I did I don't know. It's just like the first emoji I grabbed, the little hearts around it. I sent that one time and somebody said, doesn't your wife get mad if you message that emoji to women? And I was like, again, you guys, it was just a demo. Don't get crazy about it. Okay. You get the idea though, right? It's so easy. So there's Jay. I looked her up. Boom. Now you can also save their Facebook links in Teamzy. So you can just click on it and go. But that's just extra work I haven't done yet. Okay. So there he goes. Paste it in. There's the message to Jay. It's sent. I'll toggle back over to Teamzy. Log that one, Facebook message, log connect, boom. Now I've got 2 done, 7 left. Do you guys see how easy this is? And you can go very quickly through this. In fact, the first time you go through your whole list, you don't really have to change that script on the first message, just change the name. Because it's just a hello, how are you message. Does this make sense? Don't overthink. Just go through and message. Now, my goal was 9 people. So I'm just going to message those first 9 people, probably send the same script and just work my way down the list. It's going to take me 10 or 15 minutes tops, maybe even less. Are you with me? Some people will be responding immediately. I don't want you to jump on the chat yet. Get all your outgoing messages done before you jump into any of these chats you've started, or else you'll get sidetracked. Okay. So just stay focused on getting your power hour done. We're going to work our prospects list. When this blue circle's all the way full, you're done. You've hit your goal for the day. Go to the next list, which is customers. Now, this is a big deal. Okay. Customers are a big deal. How many of you have customers? Okay. Just about everybody has at least one, which is great. Customers are like your solid gold of your business, right? Not only do customers create volume every month that helps us get paid, right? But customers are how you grow your business from your current customers. So let me just talk to you about this really quick. You do the same thing. Claire is the first person that comes up. I'm going to send her a message. I'll go to scripts to get a script. Okay. Teamzy knows she's a customer, so it's got different scripts, which is great. So I'll have things like, I like this one. What was her name again? Claire. Yeah. So, hi, Claire, how are you enjoying? And then what are the products that Claire uses? So take out the products and be like, how are you enjoying, the system you're using? Like, get specific. Please send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. This one's a great one when you haven't been in touch with your customers, to just re-engage in a professional way. But it's just like, send me an update. How's everything going? And it gets them going again. But if you are doing a good job of staying in touch with Teamzy, you can use this one, which I love, which is, hi, Claire, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. That's why we're sending the messages to make their day, right? How many of you have used this message? I know a bunch of you are using Teamzy. Have you guys tried using this one yet? Checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day? Look, seriously, use it this week with customers and let me know the response you get. People love that one. Usually they'll say, you just made my day. But the idea is the same. We're going to select a script. We're going to send them a message. We're going to log it. We're going to work our way down our customer list till this circle turns all the way pink. Okay. But let me just talk to you really quick about what magic happens when you are talking to your customers on a regular basis. First of all, it's good service, right? Staying in touch with your customers is good service. You guys agree? Absolutely. And we all want to provide good service. But the next thing that I love is that when you're in regular contact with customers, they tend to order more product and they retain longer. Okay, so it won't be true for every single one, but statistically, this holds true. They order more product and they retain longer. How many of you would like all of your customers to order more products? Right? This is how we do it. It's like a value add to the sale. In my business, and you guys should start thinking of this too. In my business, I track the average purchase of my customers. I want to know how much my customers spend on average. That shows me if I'm providing a great service or not, right? So if it's very low, if it's as you see it increasing, you're like, wow, our customers are more engaged with us. Does this make sense? So how many of you have done service jobs, worked in restaurants or pubs, hotels? Okay, good. This is a good team. That's the best sales training in the world. That's the best sales training in the world. But it's the same thing, right? It's like you can go take somebody's order, or you can help them build an experience by making suggestions, by offering things, right? How many of you have ever been to a restaurant and had somebody offer you an amazing glass of wine or cocktail, and right? Yeah. Or whatever, appetizer, something amazing. And you're like, wow, thank you. This was great. Now you've just elevated it to an experience, right? And then what happens? They say, well, while you're at it, I've got this amazing dessert. You're like, I'm in. Whatever you're suggesting, I'm buying, right? And they end up doubling their per person expenditure. And are they going home going, well, that person just cheated me out of all that money? No, they go home thinking, what an amazing experience that was. That was awesome. I can't wait to tell everyone to go there. Does this make sense? Have you guys noticed that when you are loving the experience, you enjoy giving up your money for it? This is what's going to happen with your customers. They're going to have such a great experience with the relationship you're building. They're going to feel so great about connecting with you. They're going to want to add to their order. Hey, well, let's talk to me about some of the other product lines that Arbonne has. This actually happened to me in my business where, Beachbody was basically protein shakes and workouts when I was doing it. And I had somebody say, well, what other products do I need that Beachbody makes? Like I saw that in the videos, they have like, yoga mats and weights. And I was like, okay. So I did a video on all these random side products and sent it to my people, and people started ordering these yoga mats. I sold like 150 yoga mats one month, right? And it was a lesson because they wanted more from me and I wasn't giving it to them. Does it make sense? It's like they just wanted more stuff from me because they were really enjoying that process. So when you're talking to your customers on a regular basis, they'll order more product and they'll retain longer. And you guys will see, I guarantee it, this month, Becky, track it. Team volume's going up this month. It's going to go up measurably, not just for anything else Arbonne's doing, because of this call. Because people are going to be messaging their customers this week. Because of this call, we're going to see team volume go up. Watch. Okay. So that's like calling my home run. I don't know, it's a American baseball analogy, but it's like, I'm going to hit the home run over there. Watch, throw me the pitch. Okay. The third reason why we love staying in touch with customers is because it's the best place to find new customers. Your customers are the best place to find new customers. Because think about it. Think about the customers how many of you guys have one that you just, at least one customer you love, like, I just need more people like this person. So that person loves Arbonne. They're getting great results. Maybe they're looking great, right? They're talking to their friends about it. I mean, that's what people do. So they're talking to their friends. What are you doing? You look amazing. I'm doing Arbonne. It's so cool, blah, blah, blah. They're sharing it. They're in the lunchroom at work, making their shakes in front of other people. What is that? Right? So they're having these conversations about Arbonne, maybe even about you. And did you guys know that 90% of people say they make purchasing decisions based on the recommendation of a friend? That makes sense, right? You guys know that's true intuitively. So your customers excited about you and excited about Arbonne, they're telling their friends. Their friends are now very likely to purchase it themselves based on that recommendation. The question is, are you getting connected to those people? Are you getting introduced to the people having those conversations with your customers? And in most cases, you're not. They might go look up Arbonne. They might even buy some. But if you could get connected to those people, they're ready to buy right now. Does this make sense? So how you do it is you stay in regular contact with your customers. When you're in regular contact, you got to ask them to introduce you to their friends, right? So I'm talking to Becky, we're messaging, and it's like, hey, Becky, how's everything going? Anything I do to make your day? She's like, oh my gosh, you just made my day just by messaging me. Thanks for checking in. Okay, great. Well, I know that you've been loving the products. You've been getting great results, Becky. And I'm sure you've probably had conversations with friends or family. Before I get too busy this month, is there anybody that you know who needs more info? I want to prioritize your people first because you're my favorite customer. She's going to say, well, yeah, actually, I was talking to Jane and Sharon about this the other day. I said, great. Would you mind introducing me to them? It's just whatever's easiest, just a group chat on Facebook or text, whatever is easiest for you. Just set a group invite, a group intro, and I'll take it from there. Right? So now I've taken the conversation no she's having and I've asked her to bring me into it. What happens is she starts a group chat on Messenger. Hey girls, this is Eric, the guy I was telling you about. He's been helping me with Arbonne. Oh my gosh, great to meet you. I'm great to meet you guys too. So now I've got a connection with both of them. I'm going to put them in Teamzy. I'm going to start building relationship with them, right? And we're connected on social media. All of this, they instantly trust me. Why? Because Becky trusts me. Does this make sense? This is how you grow your business based on the customers that you have. When, soon after Teamzy was founded, I was having coffee with one of the top Beachbody people. She had 9,000, at the time she had 9,000 customers on her list. Past and present, right? Mostly past because she didn't keep in touch with them. She goes, there's too many I don't keep in touch. I said, it's like a gold mine. You don't even understand, right? I said, you should hire a full-time assistant just to talk to those 9,000 people on a daily basis for you. This is huge, you guys. Does this make sense? Okay, real quick. I know it's bedtime. I'm going to get you guys through this. All right. Next is consultants. So we're going to talk to our team. We're going to stay in touch with our team. A bunch of you are connected on Facebook. I mean, on Teamzy already, right? So you can message each other. Hey, you're on Teamzy today. Hope you're having a great day, right? What it does is it makes you intentional about staying in touch, right? We named it Teamzy because it's the most important group here is your team. The team is the engine that enables you to build the business and the life that you want. Does it make sense? And here's the dirty little secret about our industry. The turnover in our industry is massive. Have you guys experienced this? On average, it's 50% a year. Someone joins the business, they quit their first year. That is such a bummer. You work so hard to recruit people and they quit. So how do you keep them? And everyone's going to teach you how to recruit, but how do you keep them? It's through connection, it's through relationship, it's through community. And that's why we built Teamzy. And that's why this is the most important part of your power hour is reaching out to your team and just saying, hey, how are you? How's everything going? What can I do for you today? I care about you. I love you. Right? Are you guys with me? How many of you have a small team so far? For you guys, this will be very easy, right? But as your team grows, you put in the systems now that you're going to need when your team's big. So as your team grows, you want to stay in touch with your team. So the first half of my power hour, prospects, customers, consultants, super easy. Just message whoever's up next, use my scripts, done. 15 minutes, honestly, 15 minutes, you're done with this part. The second half of your power hour is your follow-ups list. Now I'm just going to go through this real quick and then we'll do Q&A. So the follow-ups list. How many of you guys, do you guys know Kim? Yeah, she's amazing. And Claire, do you guys know Claire too? These are the other teams I've done calls for recently, so you can see that on my follow-ups list. Okay, so the follow-ups are not automatic. You put people on the follow-ups list when you've, ideally it's when you've shared, like you've shared the business or you've shared a product solution with them, then they go on the follow-ups list. The follow-ups list is like your pipeline where you're actually got people moving towards the business with you, right? Whereas when they're on prospects, customers, and consultants, it's like you're just chatting, you're keeping the relationship going, you're learning about them, right? You're having great conversations with them. But then once we've shared, we put them on the follow-up. So let me just kind of give you an idea of how this happens. So I've been messaging Becky. She's been a good sport tonight. I've used her as my example all night, given her, poked a little fun. She's been really good. But let's say I'm messaging her and we're just having a little chit chat back and forth, finding out what's going on in each other's life, getting caught up. And, you know, the goal here when I'm having this conversation is just to have it as if you're face-to-face. Does this make sense? Don't overthink it. Just catch up like you're face-to-face. Like, what have you been up to? Tell me what you're doing. Did you do anything fun for Halloween with the kids? You know, what have you been doing? Send me an update on your life. And so you're just kind of catching up, right? And she's going to tell me about, you know, she's going to tell me a little or a lot about her life, depending on how engaged in the conversation she gets. And then she's going to now expect me to update her on my life. It's called the law of reciprocity, right? So I'm going to give her a little update on what we've been doing. Here's what kids are up to. Here's what we're up to, you know. Here's what my puppy's doing. Let me see the dog people. I know DM's a dog person because I see the dogs right there with her. See, taking care of you when you got that cold. I'm a dog person too, and they're not in here with me right now because they can disrupt, but I have two dogs, and one small one and one giant one. My point is I would be updating her on all this stuff, right? But I'm also going to tell her about my business as part of my life. People always ask me, Eric, how do you talk about the business? It's so hard to just bring it into conversation. No, just tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. Just tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. That's it. So I'm telling her about my dog. I'm telling her about my kids. Becky, did I tell you I started my own home-based business? Yeah, it's with a company called Arbonne. You ever heard of them? They're amazing. And I feel like they really align with me because the products, you know, they were life-changing for me. And I love them so much that I decided I wanted to share them with other people. I ended up with this business that's just been growing and growing and growing. It's been the coolest thing because I get to help people in the same way I was helped. But at the same time, through this pandemic and everything, having like that extra paycheck coming in, it's been incredible. It's been a blessing to the family. Now, as I'm explaining to somebody what I do and why I'm passionate about it, am I selling it to her? Am I trying to push it on her? I'm just telling her what I'm doing and why I'm passionate about it. And here's what I want you guys to understand. When you explain to somebody what you do and why you're passionate about it, here's their response. Almost always, it's like, wow, good for you. They're excited for you. They're proud of you. Right? Now, if I started the call with, hey, Becky, I know we haven't talked since school. It's been many years. I hope you're well. But I came across an opportunity that I think you need to look at. Right? It's an amazing opportunity and I want you to see it. What a difference. She's going to be like, go away. Does it make sense? But when I say, hey, here, this is what I'm doing, I'm passionate about it, it's exciting, she's gonna be like, oh, good for you. That's so great. So this is, I just want you guys to know, this is like how you have the conversation through Teamzy. You start conversations, just have great conversations, have fun with people, learn about it, and share with them what you're doing, why you're passionate about it. And when she's like, oh, good for you, Eric, that's great, you can just say something simple like, yeah, and if you ever want to learn more about it, Becky, just let me know. I'd be happy to get you more info. Could you guys do that? Yeah. You're not even talking, it's messaging. You're not even face to face. So easy, right? It's just a message. If you ever would like to learn more, let me know. Or if you come across, I like to say this too, or if you come across anyone who needs help in these areas, please introduce us, because I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can. So you keep the focus on helping others. Just keep the focus in all of your messages on helping others so they know you're not trying to push something down their throats, but you're really on a mission to help people. Now, what will happen is she will either say, yeah, I'd like to learn more, or she'll say, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Either one of those good? Yeah. People actually go for no. Can you believe this? People actually go for no when they could have gone for, yes, I want to learn more about your business, or yes, I will introduce you to other people who could benefit from your business. What a difference, right? Even if she doesn't mean it on going to tell other people, it's like she subconsciously just planted that idea in her own head, right? And I have a chance to continue talking to her. So anyways, long story short, she says, yes, I'd like to learn more. Great. Now what I'm going to do is, if I've got somebody interested in learning more about what we're doing, I now want to get off Messenger. I want to talk to her. Okay. So just a little pro tip, talk to them. Jump on a FaceTime, a Zoom, phone call, whatever you can do. Talk to them. Say, hey, you have 5 minutes. Let's jump off chat. Let's jump off chat, talk. And just want to talk for 5 minutes and see, see what you're thinking, what your goals are. Maybe I can help, maybe I can't. I just want to see what they are and see if I can help. Great. So now we're on a call. I usually do a Zoom. I'd send them a Zoom link. Boom, here's my link. Click it. Let's talk. And I'm just going to ask her a bunch of questions. Now, little pro tip, I always had a list of questions prepared that I would ask somebody, because I want to know why are they interested? Yeah, I'm interested in Arbonne. Why? What are you interested in? What about everything I've been doing in our conversation on social media has been interesting to you? Like, what are you looking to achieve? What's going on in your life? I would ask a bunch of questions, really understand what they wanted. And then that would enable me to prescribe a solution. Hey, you know what? Based on everything you're saying, I think you'd be, this product line would be a perfect fit for you. Or I think, this opportunity, this business opportunity would be a perfect fit in your life to help you do all the things you just told me you want to do. Does this make sense? Are you guys with me? I know I'm giving you a little extra. It's not just Teamzy related, but this will really help you guys to use Teamzy if you understand. It's called prescriptive selling. This is what doctors do, by the way. How many of you guys have ever run up doctor's bills that are pretty high? Well, I know you guys have different type of medical system, but doctors sell pharmaceuticals. That's their primary business. How do they do it? They prescribe a solution to your problem. And look, okay, I understand what you're saying. Here's what I think you need. You need this. You need to take this twice a day, this. I'm going to write you the prescription. Now you just go buy it. We don't think twice. They're a trusted advisor who've given us a solution to our problem. We go buy it. And this is the same thing you're going to do with your customers. You're going to give them a solution and walk them through it. So does this make sense? You guys with me? So now I've had this great call with Becky. We've had a share. How do I log it in Teamzy? Let me just show you really quick. First of all, she's not on the dashboard anymore. She's cycled through. So you look her up in the lookup bar. There she is. That brings me to her record. I'll open up this connect box just like on the dashboard. And then I'm going to log our Zoom, which is in Teamzy, it's video chat. Okay, there it is. And see where it says share? I'm going to click on share. This is not a normal connect, but we talked about the business opportunity. Okay, great. So as soon as I turn it to a share, it immediately set a follow-up for her in 2 days. See that little calendar? So it set a follow-up for her automatically. But a couple things you want to do is you want to put all your notes from the Zoom in here. So you have your notes from your call. And so this is now set automatically for 2 days. You can change it though. I would always follow up the next day. So I'll change it to tomorrow. And then when you log this Connect, a couple things happen. So you can see it logged the video chat, all the notes from the Zoom are logged, and then it set the follow-up for tomorrow. Okay. Let me go to the dashboard so you can see what it looks like there. So on the dashboard, you can see we've got a share logged. See that? One share is logged. And if I go to my follow-ups list, there's Becky due tomorrow. Make sense? Easy, right? So here's what we do. Tomorrow, when I do your power hour, you message your prospects, your customers, your consultants. Then you work down your follow-ups list. Whoever's due, you send them a follow-up, right? So if it was Becky, I would just click on scripts and I would pick a follow-up script. Now look at this, follow-up number 1. Honestly, we've made this so easy for you. I've got 10 follow-up scripts in order. You send 1, then 2, then 3. Does this make sense? So follow-up script number 1, here's how it reads. It says, hi, Jane. Just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Now I'm going to change the name to Becky. Do you guys see how easy this is? Then you send the message. Don't overthink it. Okay, look her up. There she is. Send her the message. Boom. Sent that message. Okay. Then you log it in Teamzy. Now watch what happens when I log this follow-up message. It immediately asks me, okay, did this check off the follow-up you had scheduled today? So leave that checked. And then click on add another follow-up because I want to keep her on that follow-ups list, right? So I'm going to add another follow-up. When do you want to do that? You set the date. Let's say I'll follow up on Friday. Okay, great. You can leave yourself a note. I'm going to do follow-up number 2. Just so you guys know, FU2 means follow-up number 2. I got a couple chuckles on that one. Okay, so here we go. Now Teamzy is like, okay, great. So we're going to complete today's follow-up and set a new one for Friday. Yes, that's what we want. Hit complete. So now it's done. You can see now she's got a new one due Friday. So on Friday, she'll be due and I'll message her again. That time I'll come in and I'll get follow-up number 2. Hi, Jane, just making sure you got my message. Check and see if you have any questions. Does this make sense? So this is how it works, you guys. Power hours. You're connecting with people, starting conversations. As those conversations progress, you're going to have opportunities to share. When you've shared, put them on your follow-ups list. Okay. Now, if I go in tomorrow and I see, oh, she went in and she completed her purchase, she's signed up, it's all good, then I'm still going to follow up because I'm going to say, oh my gosh, welcome to the team. This is amazing. Let's set an appointment to talk more, right? Are you with me? But most likely she won't have. How do I know this? Is this an indictment against Becky? No, this is the way humans are. Most of the people who say, yes, 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 I'm in, I'm so excited. And then you're like, why aren't they actually purchasing? So you follow up, no response, you follow up, no response, you follow up, no response. Has this happened to anybody? If this hasn't happened to you, you're not following up. Most people, even the excited ones, aren't going to respond to your follow-ups. As many as 6 or 7 with no response. So if you gave up after 3 or 4, you gave up too soon. Here's what I want you guys to understand. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. Oh, Eric, I don't want to be annoying. How many of you guys are worried about coming across annoying? So just really quick, I want to just one principle on this, and then we'll do Q&A because I know I've been talking a long time and you guys are starting to get sleepy. For the replay people, it's getting kind of late at night. So it's not because they're, anyways, all right, let's keep going. So here's the thing. I'm committed to helping Becky. She came to me and said, yes, I need your help. I offered her a solution. She's like, this is perfect. I said, I'm going to be here to help you. Now, what happens is she's excited, but she gets off the call and her life goes back into happening, right? The dog's thrown up on the baby over here. Her kids are pulling her this way. Husband is doing something. Like she's back in her life. She's not thinking about this conversation right now, right? So a couple of days pass and I follow up. She gets the message. She sees it and she's like, oh yeah, I need to talk to him again. But it's like, she's busy right now. Something's happening right now, right? This is life. She's not ghosting me. She's living her life. I'm something new and different. Make sense? This is human psychology. I want you guys to know there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with their spouse. There's nothing wrong with the economy. This is human psychology. Be prepared to continue to follow up. Now, here's the thing. I committed to her that I'm going to help her. If I give up on her because she hasn't responded, I'm communicating to her I was telling a lie. I don't really care about her. She's not in, I don't care. No, that's not what I said. I said I was going to help her. So I'm going to continue to stay in touch with her because it's my promise that I'm keeping. This is why I always say that following up is an act of love. It's not something you do that's annoying. It's an act of love. I want to help her. This is how I help her. I stay in touch. Now, what's going to happen is after 3, 4, 5, 6 with no response, she's going to respond and say, I'm sorry, I haven't responded. Oh my gosh, my life's been crazy. But I'm glad you stayed in touch. And now we can start a conversation over. This is the process, you guys. And I'm going to give you 2 principles quick on how to never be annoying when you follow up, because I know a couple of you raised your hand, but I want you to understand this is the Teamzy process. Start conversations daily. Have ongoing conversations leading toward a share. Share. Follow up on share. 4 steps. Daily basis. That's your power hour. Okay. Starting conversations, maintaining those ongoing conversations, sharing, following up on your share. Every single month, what you're going to find is that follow-ups list, people convert, people convert, people convert. You don't know who. Might be the person who's been on there 6 months, might be the new person. Every month, though, as you continually send follow-ups and stay in touch with people, you're going to see this happening. Does this make sense? Now, real quick, before we do Q&A, the 2 things that you do to not be annoying when you share. When you follow up. Number 1, make sure that, first of all, you can just use my scripts. My scripts already do these 2 things. But first off, make sure your message is short enough they can read the whole thing without opening it. Okay, they can read the whole thing without opening it, because most people will not open your messages. They don't want you to see that they've read it and look like a jerk for not responding. Do you guys ever do this sometimes? You leave it unread? Yeah, we all do it. So make sure it's short enough they can see the whole thing, because what happens is if it's a long message, I can't see the whole thing without opening it. Now I'm irritated because I want to know what it says, but I don't want to open it. Make sense? So keep it short and sweet. The next tip is don't ask them to do anything in the message. Don't give them any work. Like, you need to respond. You need to call me. You need to, right? That's annoying. Do you remember, how many of you guys are old enough to remember when we used to leave voicemails and call people on the phone? You guys remember those days? Wasn't it annoying when you got a voicemail that said, call me back? It's like, why are you calling me? Couldn't you just tell me why on the voicemail? And then I know exactly what I'm getting into when I call you back, right? So this is what I learned. I learned this years ago before we were into texting and social media. On the phones, was I never asked people to call me back. When I called clients, I always told them when I would try them again. Okay. So you take the pressure off of them. Don't put any pressure on them. You just need to be present for them. Make sense? Okay. All right. So let's do, now I haven't read any of the chat. I see there's a lot of messages there because I've been talking. So if you have questions, what I would do, you guys have the ability to unmute your own microphone. I'll leave it open to you to unmute and ask away, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that came up.
I have one. I'm going to go first.
All right.
Oh, hi, Eric. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I've been using Teamzy for a couple of weeks now. One question, I don't want to take up loads of time, was a connect. Is that a direct message? So if you're interacting on someone's page, is that classed as a connect, or is a message a connect?
For me, it has to be a personal direct message.
Okay, perfect. So if you're going through their grid and you're commenting and liking, and I think because that's what a lot of us have been doing, we're like, oh, connect, but actually that's really lame. It needs to be an actual conversation starter. Is classed as a connect, just to be clear.
Yes. Now,
Okay,
what you're doing is
perfect.
good. I mean, you need to be doing that. But if after you've liked a couple, and you've engaged on their thing, then send them a message.
Yeah, I think that's what a few of us have been doing, where we didn't want to just send them a message, so we thought we'll just interact, and then maybe on the next one. So that's brilliant. Anyway, that's answered my question.
No, it's a great question. I'm glad you asked it, because it's important in the intention, which is I'm intending to start a conversation with you, not just like with everybody listening in. Does that make sense? So even if you said something like, hey, just been loving your posts lately, as you could tell by my hearts, and just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, and possibly, just as I'm thinking, if they come up and we haven't, because it's amazing, because people come up and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know I was friends with them. Like Teamzy's just bringing people up. So a good thing to do would be to interact, but then perhaps skip a week, and then the next week. So we're not logging them as a connect, we interacted, and then the next week, I've got it.
Look,
and there was another.
You can do that, but you may be overthinking it. That's all I have to say. Okay. So when somebody comes up that you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen this name in ages. I think it's script number 2 or 3 in there that says, hey, I just saw you cross my feed and thought I'd say hi. Like, just throw that out there. Because here's the thing I'll tell you is you're probably very active on social media. And so you didn't know you were friends with them. They probably for sure know they're friends with you, and they follow you and they see your posts and they feel like they're in your living room every night. They feel connected to you. When you throw that out there, they're going to be like, hey, oh my gosh. Right. So I'll just give you an example. So a friend of mine, she's a top builder in another company, much smaller than Arbonne. And she's the number 1 person in their company. And she was obsessed with NSYNC, the band NSYNC, when she was a teenager, right? And so the owner of the company got a hold of Lance Bass and had him FaceTime her on her birthday, right? And so why am I even telling you the story? I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? Oh, social media.
Sorry, on me.
So Lance Bass messages her and he's like, hey, like, I have no idea who you are. I'm doing a favor to somebody. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's Lance Bass. I love you. My whole childhood, right? So she's interacting with him, so excited. And that's my example. Like, you're, not to make Lance Bass, I don't know if that's good or bad for you, but like, you're a celebrity to them. Okay? Just keep that in mind. In most cases, you're going to be like a celebrity to them. They're going to be excited to talk to you. You may occasionally have somebody, I had somebody once that was like, who the heck are you and how do we know each other? And I said, I wondered the same thing when I saw you on my Facebook friends list. That's why I messaged you. And they ended up becoming a customer after we got through like laughing about that and then just kind of chit-chatting a little. She's like, oh, I'm on your page right now. How cool. You're doing cool stuff. So did you have one more question? Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, I did. I'm so happy to be talking to you. And then when with the connects, if you clicked on details yesterday or the day before, if it was on Instagram, I would just click and it would take me straight to Instagram. It was amazing. It's not doing that today. Has something happened?
It's not doing it for you, or it's not, or I didn't demonstrate that.
For me, I don't know if anyone else is having that, but I used to be able to either, when I've added someone, I add their Instagram handle. Yeah. Then when they come back up to connect, I literally just on the PC connect Instagram and it would click it through. But today I've been having to manually then search them and click. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it could be that that particular person didn't have the Instagram link in there.
Okay, so yeah, it's fine. So it's not a Teamzy thing.
Check somebody you know the Instagram link was there. Look them up and click it and see if it opens it for them. Okay. But I'll make a note to check that, but I can't imagine why that wouldn't work. So what happens is, for those of you guys who haven't done this, if you click Instagram and there's no link, it takes you to Instagram, but it doesn't take you to that person's page, right? Or profile, whatever. So, but if you put their links in there, then yeah, you can just click it and go. So it just depends. Like, here's what I'll tell you. Like, I think that's a cool feature, but I never put the links in, because putting the link in to me was more work than just putting their name in the search. So either, whatever it is for you, like if I had somebody who could go put up, like I have an account, I have like 100 Teamzy accounts. Can you imagine? But I have an account that one of my staff puts people in for me. And that account are leaders that I want to stay in touch with. And she puts all that, she puts the links. I love that, right? I love having the links, just like you do, Carol. but I don't put them in myself. I'm too lazy. So I love that she puts them in for me. And I'm like, oh yeah, it goes right to the right page, which is great. All right. So just check that and see, make sure that wasn't somebody who was missing a link. Okay. Who else has a question?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, it's a question that a few of us have had in the group WhatsApp. A few of us have been using Teamzy for about a month or so now, and we're kind of all doing it slightly differently, I think. And one of the things we asked was about a ask. So in Arbonne, a lot of the time we log when we've asked somebody, like ask them about the business, ask them about hosting a party and things like that. I've been logging those as shares, but other people don't until it's the actual event, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, that's a great question. Okay. So I'm glad you asked it. You guys have the best questions. So when we first launched Teamzy, we didn't call them shares, we called them invites, right? And the problem was people were logging everything as an invite. So if I'm having an event and I invite every person on my list to it, they would log, 500 invites, but only 2 people come to the event. I'm only sharing the business with those 2 people. Does this make sense? So we changed the word to share so that it wasn't getting as confusing. And we changed kind of that there was a whole list of things that you could log, and then we just changed it to business and products. Because here's the bottom line, Laura, is you should log it as a share if you've had a conversation with that person about Arbonne, about a product solution for them, or about the business opportunity. If you haven't had that conversation yet, don't log it as a share. Make sense? Okay, now the reason why, and this is kind of advanced, like tonight's call wasn't about this, but I'm going to put on my business coach hat for you guys for a second. If you go to the business page, there's statistics that are tracked. And a couple of the statistics are how many connects it takes for you to get a sale on average, and how many sales it takes on average before you've recruited a distributor or a consultant to your team. These are metrics that we use in coaching. You guys can use this as self-coaching, but in the coaching relationship, we always use these metrics, no matter what the business is. We're like, how many contacts does it take to get a sale in your business? And then we calculate like what a sales average worth is to the business, because then we can help a business owner know how much work they need to do to hit their goals. Now, Teamzy has this built into its algorithm because our business is pretty standard as far as how you get paid and what the products all cost about the same, right? But this is going to be huge for you, Laura, as you go forward, because your conversion rate, in other words, how many actual consultants you recruit compared to how many customers you get, how many connects you make compared to how many shares you have to how many conversions, it shows you where you're doing well in your business. So if you're having 1 million connects and you're not having any shares, you're going to see you're not getting many conversions, right? So you need to focus more on getting to the share. If you're doing lots of shares and you're not getting conversions, then you need to work on your skills, your presentation skills. You need to get mentored, right? So it tells us where we need coaching. Does this make sense? So that's why I want you to have clean stats going in. You're going to log less shares, but there'll be more valuable shares, if that makes sense. Great. And thank you for all your high energy smiles tonight. It really helped, Laura. You've been on my screen egging me on. I appreciate it.
Can I ask a question? Just quickly, when you've messaged a prospect, or like in the first category, and they reply, do you mark the reply back anywhere so that you've engaged in a conversation, or is that just in your memory sort of thing?
Another great question. I love these questions. Okay. You guys are asking all the questions that I had to figure out the hard way, which is great. So you can log the back and, okay, so when you log, if you want to log the back and forth of your conversation, don't log it as a new connect. So going back to exactly what I was describing to Laura, you're going to mess up your numbers. You're going to show that, oh, it took me 50 connects, right? What you want to do is, if you want to log that, then just open up the connect you started the conversation with, edit it and paste it in. Okay. So I'm just telling you guys that, but you don't have to do that. Okay. So let me clarify, because what I don't want you to do with Teamzy is spend all your time logging stuff and not getting anything done, right? Because that becomes really annoying. So here's what I would do. log that first connect, all the chit chat that goes back and forth on your texting app or messaging app, just leave it there. Okay. And then if it turns into a share, log the share. Then what I would do is, so let's say I messaged you, Andrea. Is it Andrea? Okay. I didn't want you to go. It's Andrea, you big jerk. Okay. So let's say I message you and we have a little chit chat, but it fizzles out, right? Doesn't get to a share. It just kind of fizzles. And then you come back up in 60 days. You come up on my radar again. It's like, oh, let me message her again, try to re-engage this conversation. When I go to Messenger, I see, oh, we had a chat. So that is when I would copy the whole chat and I would paste it into our last message. So it's in Teamzy. And then I would send you a new one. So for me, I just did it next time they came up on my list. So I didn't have to go back and do any like looking them up or logging. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
And then what I would do is each day when I would, I would try to do my power hour early in the morning. And then I would have a couple of blocks of time where I would answer messages. I highly recommend doing this because otherwise you're answering messages 24/7. The whole point here is an hour a day, right? So I had a full-time job. So I would do like 30 minutes in my lunch hour. And then after I got my kids to bed, I would do like 30 minutes. And so what I would do is I would go through my phone and every message that was unread, because I tried not to read them either. Every message that was unread, I would respond to. And you know how many messages you can send in 30 minutes if all you're doing is responding to all, they're just queued up. So it's just like, boom, 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 next thing. And then at lunch, and then in the evening, they'd all be responded again and message them again. And so it kept me really focused on those, if that makes sense. And then when they fizzle out, it's because like they stop responding. So they don't show up in that list and it's no big deal. I just let them go to the next Teamzy flow. Makes sense?
Fantastic. I found, I've faffed about, probably be the right word to use, for years, looking at Facebook lists going, oh, I can't contact that person. I couldn't possibly ask that person. I couldn't, but with following you and with one of your scripts, it's just like, just reaching out to my Facebook friends that I don't really see very often or speak to. So I thought I'd say hi and hope you have a great day. I think 90% of people have replied back.
Yeah.
Been phenomenal. And I would normally have faffed and gone, oh, I can't possibly ask them, couldn't possibly send them a message. So it's really good. Thank you very much.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that. And the fact that 90% are responding shows that people hold you in high regard.
Okay.
Right. So they're, like I said, they're glad to hear from you. They haven't heard from you in a while, and it's a pleasant surprise. And so if you think about each person, not even as a prospect in your business, but as a relationship that you can redevelop, and how powerful it is to have all these relationships alive in your life, they're going to, a lot of them are going to turn into customers, or they're going to start introducing you to people. And it just becomes this kind of, it's like what do they call it? The perpetual motion engine, right? And so it's, I've been working, my business coaching business has been primarily real estate people for most of my career, real estate agents. And they, real estate people do all kinds of crazy marketing stuff. And when they realize that once they have a certain sphere of relationships, that can self-sustain a business, they're like, how does that work? That's how it works. It's kind of cool, right? So then it's like this is the way businesses were always done, by the way. It was about getting your clientele excited, serving them, and then they would bring more clientele and they would constantly multiply. So that's kind of the same thing.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Hi, Eric. I had a question.
Sure thing.
Oh, turn my camera off. Didn't mean to do that. First of all, this has been absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much for coming on and doing this for us. I had a question about the sale. Mm-hmm. So when you click that you've had a sale,
yes,
it just gives the option for an ASVP or other. What's the best way to log what people have bought, so that when I look on my history and my stats, I can get a list straight away of what people have ordered, whether it's nutrition or skincare or anything more specific?
Yeah, what I recommend you do is you add a tag for the products that they're using for each product. So just add a tag. So once you create a tag, it's in there. So next person, it comes up after you type one letter, right? But you want the tag. So the tagging is kind of the magic thing. So let me just give you an example. Let's say I've got a certain product. This person comes in, they like this product. Great, tag it. Now I know when they come up again, I immediately can see what products they're using or that they've used in the past. So that's useful information. But what happens when Arbonne releases a new product? Let's say they release the new tangerine flavor of this product. So now I can pull a list of everybody who uses this product in Teamzy by clicking the tag. I get the list of everybody using this product. Now, these are the first people I want to message to say, hey, I know you love the vanilla, but how would you like to try our new tangerine? So it becomes really powerful, right? For product releases and things like that, or if you have a sale or a special, you can immediately grab those lists, which is pretty cool. And then you can even do, you can tag all kinds of things, like where people live, I would tag, so that if you're going to be somewhere, you could go through and message everybody in that area. Like, hey, I'm going to be somewhere, come see me, or does this make sense? So the tagging system is so simple and easy. And when we built Teamzy, I was like, I don't want to have to figure this out. Just make it easy. So if you want to create a list of people in Teamzy or have information, use tags, right? We've got Veterans Day coming up here this week, 3 days. What do you call it something different? Memorial Day?
Yeah, Memorial Day or Armistice Day.
Armistice Day. So we call it Veterans Day. So for example, I would, in my Teamzy, I would tag all the military veterans as veterans. And then on that day, I would spend, for my power hour that day, I would message all the veterans and thank them for their service personally.
So where do we search for tags when we've put them in?
When you go to the team page, you'll see the tags on the left. You click on the tag you want, or there's a lookup bar for tags. You can even filter multiple tags, which is cool. You can say, oh, I want all the people. So this goes, but actually, I'm glad you brought up the tags because I want to mention it, going back to Laura's question too, about inviting a bunch of people to an event. So what I would do was, Laura, if I was inviting people to an event, I would tag them. Invited to the November 2021 event, right? And so I would create a tag so that I had a list of everyone I invited. And then I'd be able to see later, then when I do a December event, I can go, okay, I want everyone I invited to the November 10th event that didn't attend. So I can invite them to my new event, right? So the tags it allows you to create little groups. So really tonight, what I wanted to communicate to everyone is like, do your power hour. It's really easy. Get your power hour consistent, but there's all kinds of ways to drill a little deeper in Teamzy as you get going, if that makes sense. You guys will get to, when you get to a point where you go full-time in this business, some of you have jobs, so you got an hour a day, that's it. But when you get to a point where you go full-time in this business, you're going to spend more than 1 hour a day on the business. Then you can have additional, I got to where first I had 2 power hours where I was doing more in-depth stuff the second power hour. And then I had 3 power hours, right? And then I was full-time. So you want to continue to structure how you can get more strategic on your business, if that makes sense, over time. But for your question, Emma, just tag those products. So you log the sale. Here, let me just show you. I'll do it real quick. Where am I? So if I go to Jackie, first person here. Okay, great. And I want to log a sale. I click on sale. So other, okay, great. And I save it. And then I put in, what's a product what's a super popular product?
Fizz sticks.
What sticks? Fizz sticks. Two Z's?
Yeah.
So there's a tag. So I just tagged the product. So I got a sale. So this logged the sale in the activity. So I can see that I got a sale, and that for my, oh, by the way, when you log a sale, you have to move them to customer, right? So if they're on prospect, you log a sale, you change them to customer, and now you've got a sale. So now Teamzy has tracked that my connects resulted in a sale and recruited a customer. So you see, so all of those stats are tracked for me, which is cool. And then later, if she becomes a consultant, then it will log that switch, which is pretty cool. Make sense? Okay, and then this is where you can add any tag you want. So if I wanted to tag veteran, for example, if I want to tag mom, I'll say mom, right? You get the idea. So you get the idea. So if I'm on the dashboard looking at this person, he was on the dashboard, but I moved him. But if I'm on the dashboard looking at somebody, when I look over at details, I'll see all their tags. So it'll just be right there. You'll notice when you guys use our, when you use like our Facebook app to bring your Facebook friends in, it'll tag them Facebook. So you'll be able to look and know that those are all Facebook friends. So as soon as you pull somebody up, oh, the Facebook, who the heck is that? Facebook friend, right? Or it's an Instagram follower. But you usually know when it's an Instagram follower because their name is something like loves cats 69 or something, you know? So, all right. Does that help?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Sure thing.
Eric, please, could I ask a question?
Yes, please.
It's on behalf of someone else, actually. Should we be doing this 7 days a week or 5 days a week, like some of us do?
It's a great question. We've set Teamzy up on a 5-day-a-week work schedule.
Fabulous.
So when you see your goal, it's broken into 5 days a week. Yep. And you can work any 5 days you want. You know, but because I know we have irregular schedules, but it's not 7 days a week. No.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much.
Sure thing. Carol's very excited about that. She threw her arms up in excitement.
Sorry to jump in and ruin Carol's excitement because it was pretty good with the arms in the air. I just wanted to ask, can I automatically feed in my Instagram contacts? Because I've done my Facebook, but I didn't know how to do anything else. Or do I have to put them in manually?
Well, okay, so we actually had built an extension for Instagram. Some of you may have used it. We took it down last week because I found out it wasn't performing. It wasn't performing because of something Instagram has in its code. But you can still there's instructions on our site and the help center on how to get your Instagram contacts from Instagram and upload them into Teamzy. So it is something that's still pretty easy to do. It's just not automatic. So what was happening with, just so you guys know, some of you want to know what was happening with the automatic extension is Instagram was only allowing us to get 1,000 followers. Okay. And so if you have 3,000 followers, we're only getting 1/3 of your followers. And not only that, but it was random. So it was like, you didn't know which ones you were going to get, right? So it was a random 1,000 that it would sync over, which, you know, in many cases is for people getting started, it's fine because it's more than they're going to connect with right away anyways. But I just didn't, to me, I didn't like that. I had them take it down. I said, if it doesn't work perfectly, let's take it off. Because again, the Instagram code is just weird, but Instagram is required by international law to provide an export of your contacts, and they do that. So those are the instructions that you have in the Teamzy Help Center, is how to get your contacts exported and then how to import that into Teamzy. It's pretty easy to do.
Brilliant, thank you.
Yeah. Now, for those of you guys who are like legit influencers on Instagram, you've got thousands and thousands of people on Instagram. I don't recommend that you bring them all into Teamzy because you really can't manage more than about 5,000 people on your own. Okay. So if you've got 20,000 or 10,000 or whatever, like just understand that 5,000 is about all you can manage if you're working your Teamzy 5 days a week. So what I recommend you do, and I've talked to a lot of people who are building on Instagram, is just like as you're working in Instagram and you're interacting with people, add those people to Teamzy each day, right? So like you're interacting, you're messaging, great, get them in Teamzy so that they stay in your flow. But you don't necessarily need to pull all of them over unless you're starting from scratch and you haven't, you know, you're just starting your business. Make sense? Okay. If you're lame on Instagram like me, I have like 700 people. It'd be easy. Just bring them over and go for it.
I guess, sorry, just to following on from that, is some people that follow me on Facebook would also follow me on Instagram, but there'd be different names.
Yeah.
So do I then have 2 people that will ping up?
Yes. If they have a different name, you'll have 2 people. Yep.
Thank you.
So that it won't duplicate the same name. It won't duplicate the same email address. Many people don't put their email address though publicly on Facebook and Instagram. So you will get it if they have a different name, you will get a duplicate. We do have a merge tool. So if you know like, oh, this person is so-and-so, you can merge it into one record easy in Teamzy as you come across those.
Okay, fab. Thank you.
Sure thing. Jamie just said, you can merge them together. See, she's ahead of me.
I do have a question. I just want to say thank you so much, Eric. It has been amazing, like your time and knowledge. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Very, very grateful. Birthdays. Now, we have a CRM system with Arbonne that gives us a list of birthdays. So if we put the birthdays in, do we get reminded of that a few days in advance or on the day?
Okay, so we do have a birthday list, a birthday report in Teamzy. Let me go in here and show you where it is. So if you go to the team page and you go to tools right here, you'll see the birthday report. And so it'll show you a list of upcoming birthdays. I don't have any in this account because it's a dummy account, so I've got nothing there, right? But it'll give you a list of upcoming birthdays. It doesn't do anything as far as putting it on your dashboard, but if you make it part of your DMO where you just go, let me check the birthday report, you can send birthday messages. Does that make sense? The reason why we had it in there, like for me personally, I just use Facebook's. I look at the Facebook birthdays, it gets most of them, but that's there because a lot of people like to send cards, birthday cards. So remember we talked about handwritten cards? We're going back to the old school stuff. So if you want to send cards, it's great to pull that out and do it. I know like with the other businesses that I've worked with outside of network marketing who have assistant staff, they always buy birthday cards for their boss and they put the address, they put the name and address on the envelope and they put the birthday cards on the boss's desk every week. And then the boss writes birthday cards to their clients. It's huge personal touch, not this junk. Right? But actual cards, happy birthday, great thinking of you. So that is something great to implement, especially for your favorite people to do. But so to answer your question, the birthday report is there.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
And you know, who knows, maybe Teamzy will become a system in Arbonne that'll help you guys and you can use one system. We hope. Person can hope. I will say this, that when we first, maybe I shouldn't say this on that. Let me stop the recording, then we can talk.